Well, now Christian Pulisic. Let's talk about him. Let's move on quickly. Christian Pulisic. How could he fit at Juventus, Newcastle, and other potential destinations? I have, ladies and gentlemen, a fine gentleman that will explain, that was talking on ESPN FC, that was explaining what the situation was with Pulisic, and this is actually Mark Ogden from ESPN FC. Let's listen to him speak on this subject.
The USA forward, and Juventus, the Italian club, are leading the chase. Now, it's no surprise that Pulisic is on the way out at Chelsea. He's had a couple of really injury-hit years, and obviously last summer the club were taken over by Clear Lake Capital. Many players came in, Mikhailo Mudryk, Raheem Sterling, Fofana, lots of players up front which will now obviously challenge for Pulisic's place. And Chelsea need to raise some money. They need to raise some money to help address the outlay that they spent last year to reduce the wage bill, and also to counter the fact that there's no Champions League money coming in next season because they didn't qualify for the Champions League or any European competition. So Pulisic, who has had a frustrating time at Chelsea, he's keen to leave, and I've been told that quite a few clubs have been approached to let them know that Pulisic is available. Could cost around £20 million. His wages around £13 million a year could be a sticking point, because that is a high outlay for a player that has had a checkered past for the last 2 years. But Juventus, they need to bring people in. They're going to lose Juan Cuadrado and Angel Di Maria this summer. Contracts expired in Turin. So the likes of Manchester United, Newcastle, AC Milan, Galatasaray, Napoli have all been approached, asked if they're interested in Pulisic. United, Newcastle, possibly. United are unlikely to go for it in the sense that they've got other options or other areas they need to address, and they've got enough attacking options on the wings that they don't think that Pulisic is a goal right now. But other clubs will look at Pulisic and think that he's a player that is proven in the Champions League, proven in the Premier League, proven in the Bundesliga, only 24, so he is good value. And I think Juventus see that they need to rebuild in many ways, having been deducted points in Serie A this season, so they miss out on the Champions League. But it's whether Serie A appeals to Pulisic, whether he wants to stay in the Premier League, wait for Newcastle to make a move, or other clubs that may be interested, such as Aston Villa, or whether he goes for a big club that he's trying to rebuild.
Well, that was what Mark Ogden was saying about Christian Pulisic. I'm not for sure that's. I mean, I think he would go to Juventus. I do think so. He's not getting any minutes at Chelsea. He's not really being the option that he was in the beginning, and that for the U.S. men's team, that's actually something that needs to be addressed. Part of the problem of why the U.S. men's team wasn't able to perform as we had hoped for is because the players weren't up to par with the demand, the football demand, to put it that way. I mean, Christian Pulisic is probably the best player when it comes to a lot of things, not just football. And I know that that's the only thing that should be counted, certainly. But he is even not just that, but marketing-wise, he has changed. Just the U.S. men's team and U.S. soccer has so much put on him to be the savior of U.S. soccer, which I don't think is right. And I don't know, to be honest, I like Weston McKennie more than Pulisic. I think Pulisic is a great player and a great, just a great footballer. But I don't know that he is everything that people have set him out to be, or I just don't know that he is the golden boy per se. I think that the U.S. needed somebody to put that claim on, and but he is such a talented player. I don't want that to sound like I don't think he is. I think he's such a talented player. But if we are talking about if we are saying that he could go to Newcastle, there is a problem that I have to call him the face of U.S. soccer. If the face of U.S. soccer is going to play for Newcastle, I mean, I do have a problem with that. I mean, Newcastle is a great old-time club in England, but they haven't been relevant to football in the last few decades. So back since they had the Colombian Asprilla or the Peruvian Solano, back since those days, Newcastle hasn't been that. And to say that the face of our football, the face of U.S. soccer is going to play for Newcastle, I mean, it's kind of dramatic. And to say that I don't have a problem with him playing for Juventus. Juventus is a big club with history, but also there is problems with Juventus. Why is Juventus interested in Pulisic? I can say because of his talents, perfect. I can also say, or doubt, is because they can't get very many players to go to that club because they're trembling. They're going through bad situations, things that were done illegally in the pandemic, um, asking players to reduce their salaries and lying to Serie A. So Juventus has been known to do cricket stuff. I mean, they got relegated for doing not similar, but stuff that they weren't supposed to do in 2011, 2012. So it's not the first time. They lost a few points this year, and I don't know. I mean, it seems like they have a lot of trouble coming in the horizon, and for Pulisic to go there could be a possibility. Certainly a possibility, but I don't know if it would be a smart move. However, I'm also saying I don't even know if he has other clubs that would be interested. So listen, great player with great skills. We just hope that he makes the right decision, and not only for him. Obviously, he will do that because of him, for him, but for us to like U.S. soccer and that actually watch the games and that actually feel the games. Hopefully, he makes the right decision.